I hope I can be heard. I can see we have some joiners already, so there are people that have attended now. Quite a lot of people, so if you could please just let us know in the chat if you can hear us. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I start seeing some messages. Just so you know, this webinar is recorded. So of course we'll be sharing the recording once the event is done. We will prepare the Q&A form for you. So of course, because there's a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, we will be taking all of the questions you have during this meeting and answering all of those in the emailing that will follow, and we will share also the recording. The chat is moderated, which means that thank you for so many messages you're sending us now, but those are being reviewed at the same time, so only the most relevant ones will be published. But of course, all questions that you will ask us in the chat will be further answered in the emailing that will follow the webinar. Today with us, we've got our partners from Fyndiq and PostNord. So we have Ted London from Fyndiq with us today. Hi, Ted.
Hello. Hi.
And Jakub Grzewacz from PostNord Poland.
Hi, everyone.
Myself, I'm Karim Redwabi from BaseLinker. Hoping here to let you know more about how we can cooperate together to bring your sales into Scandinavia, to a new market for you. Maybe you're already dealing with those countries, but Fyndiq is a certain to-go-to marketplace if you want to deal with the Scandinavian countries. So for today, what we have prepared is an agenda that is quite packed, I would say, because of course we will start with reviewing why is Fyndiq the to-go platform, what are the current advantages of going onto that platform, whilst also we will talk how to easily start listing your products on the platform, how to expand your business on the Scandinavian market. Why should you consider it? Because that is a very important factor here. Why should you put the time into bringing your products into the Scandinavian market? Ted will tell you more about this. And then, of course, hoping you start generating those sales, you need to also take care of the last mile, maybe not the last, but just the next to last mile part of it, which is the logistics. So Jakub will be here to share his presentation about PostNord and how you can access logistics into the Scandinavian markets. After which I will take some time to tell you more about BaseLinker and how we can help you in using BaseLinker in listing your products onto the marketplace and also manage your current listings. Also, fun thing about BaseLinker is that we have some AI tools that will help you in managing those listings of yours, and I would like to show you how to use them with us. Of course, all of that will be followed by a Q&A session. As I've said, there's many questions that we expect to get from you. We'll get some 15 minutes probably to answer all of those. And if there are some very specific, because often during those webinars about cross-border sales, you might have some questions about taxes, maybe some other regulation and so on. So all of those would be answered either directly here or after the webinar. So maybe without further ado, what I would do here is let Ted maybe share a couple of words about Fyndiq then. Let's start by Ted, if you could tell us more about your role in Fyndiq, and then we'll launch the presentation for Fyndiq.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Thank you very much for having us here in the webinar, and very nice to meet you all. And I really look forward to answer any questions or help you onboard to the platform if you would be interested in selling into Scandinavia with Fyndiq. So I can just start a little bit about myself. I started at Fyndiq in 2017, so it's about 8 years this year. And basically, been working as with merchants since day one. I started as a merchant success manager. Today, I'm the head of merchant success for the whole department for existing merchants, primarily on the platform, working closely together with the acquisition team and the whole supply team, basically, working with all the merchants, both onboarding and also the current ones. So basically, a lot of experience into the marketplace business since then. And yeah, that's short about me and a little bit about Fyndiq. So of course I will go through more in the presentation as well. So yeah, basically starting a little bit about the history. We last year started in so how should I put it? You see here also that CDON group is now a part where Fyndiq is a part of, meaning that there is a group called CDON group. There are actually two platforms, two marketplaces in one since about a year ago, which is the vision is to unleash the power of the marketplace to give the best shopping experience in the Nordics. So both Fyndiq and CDON are two different marketplaces merged together. And today we will focus on the Fyndiq marketplace mainly. Yeah, basically the timeline where it all started was in 2009 when the CEO, which is also the CEO today, started Fyndiq with an idea that many companies can have products that might not be selling as good as they had hoped to. So they have a lot of overstock. And then he thought that this could be an idea that many others also had. So basically, he started then building this platform to help other companies sell their overstock in one marketplace. So that's why it all started, and then it grew from there. Basically, going from only being in Sweden into the all Nordics, and then also growing not just into different markets, but also now more and more also into different categories, as well as now being a part of a bigger group, utilizing the power of the two biggest marketplaces joining together. So today we are the biggest marketplace in the Nordics. So and we're continuing growing forward from here. A little bit about the market overview, using a little bit data from PostNord. For those of you who were at the webinar a couple of days ago here with Jakob, and probably you saw this, but basically just to give you a little bit brief overview of the market, where Sweden is definitely the biggest in the Nordics, and then followed by some of the other countries. There are differences between each country, actually, which is quite interesting to see. The biggest difference, I would say, is Norway, given that it's not in the EU. So there are some logistical things to consider going in there, and also VAT-wise. But this is something that we can help you with, as well as PostNord as well. So, I mean, we have made it very easy to access the whole Nordic market, which can be quite complex to go into if you're not aware of the obstacles and the challenges that are in each country. There are different languages, different currencies, and the logistic setups can be a bit different. So yeah, there's a lot of obstacles to overcome. However, we basically, since we are in all markets, we can help you access all of them in one go. So yeah, going into a little bit to the e-commerce market versus Fyndiq then. We are looking into a market about 400 billion Swedish crowns, about 40 billion euros valued. So it's a quite big market to enter, and you can see here in the numbers in the pie charts approximately the percentage of sales per country. So you can see clearly that Sweden is by far the biggest for us. However, we see the biggest growth of sales in the other countries. So this is growing more and more. So Sweden is getting a little bit less of the pie chart in percentage, even though we're growing in total. So yeah, it's a quite interesting market to come into, actually. When we look about the potential of a marketplace, we see, in comparison to the rest of the world, quite a big difference about the market penetration coming to marketplaces. As I told you, that we are the biggest marketplace in the region. However, in total, there's only about approximately 5% of the sales of e-commerce coming from marketplaces, meaning that there's a huge potential to grow this business, where we also aim to take it up to the same levels as in the rest of Europe, as well as the US and also Asia, where we see more than 80-90% of the sales coming from marketplaces. So this is something we really believe in the future. We see that there is a growth year over year. However, today we are in a small part of what we can be. So it's looking very good for the future to be in the Nordics to sell. A little bit about Fyndiq. So if you look at the word Fyndiq, in Swedish, the word Fynd actually means bargain. So we strive to make the customer feel that you can strike a bargain when you shop there. So this can, of course, mean different things. It could be a very good price, or it could be an assortment that you can't find elsewhere. So that's why we strive for a variety of products. And today we have about 19 million articles totally on the site. And we want to grow this, of course, even more. And as well, finding an assortment that might not be present in the Nordics today. So that's why we also hope that you can come with this supply to provide this to the Nordic customers. So a little bit about the history as well, as we went before. Founded in 2009, and I would say most people in Sweden, at least, knows about Fyndiq. Maybe not as known in the rest of the Nordics, but mainly Denmark has been growing a lot, but also Finland and Norway as well. Approximately 4 million articles sold per year, around 20 million visits per year, and active in the 4 of the 5 Nordic markets. The only one we're not active in is Iceland. It's a very small market, but it might be in the future that we go in there as well. But for now, this is not something we're striving for at the moment. But 4 or 5 we're in at least. So some of the benefits, I would say, selling with Fyndiq is that you can expand a lot and very easy into the different markets. Mainly Sweden is the biggest one. However, as I said before, we see a big growth in the other markets as well. We help you with the translations as well. And we believe that there's a great possibility for you to be visible in a quite easy way. If you look at other competitors in Europe and also US, there are different ways how you can find products. In the Nordics, it's Google, I would say, is the biggest driver for traffic. So this is something that we want to grow to get more organic traffic to the sites. However, today Google is very, very heavy, and it's usually quite expensive to use paid marketing if you're going into a market yourself to start from zero. This is something we have been building since the start in 2009, working a lot with SEO and SEM. So I would say we're one of the best in the market to find the best value for money when it comes to performance marketing. So the vision is to, for sure, stay and also have the lead being the marketplace in the Nordics. We believe also that local presence is key. We are very aware of how the local customers as well as the businesses in the region are working. We know the logistic flows, like the VAT rules, etc. And we also know what the customers need and want. We do work with selected merchants, so we don't onboard anyone. We have a process where we want to make sure that you also succeed on the marketplace with your assortment. And we believe that it's very important to have a close relationship with our partners and merchants. So this is something that we really want to work with you to see that before you upload your products, before you start selling, and that we have a good strategy to make sure that you really do succeed in the first couple of months. Because we believe it's key to have a great start. Because if you don't get a good start in the beginning, it can be hard to get this down the road. That's why we also work with dedicated merchant success managers to help you with this. So a little bit about the customers. This is, of course, an average. We span basically between all categories and genders. We have a little bit more women than men shopping. We have a high returning customer grade. And age limit is around 40 years old. We believe that the crucial parts to succeed is that you have very competitive prices. In Sweden, at least, a lot of people are comparing prices on price comparable products. So unless you have a very specific assortment that is not present at all, it's very important to have a competitive price. Of course, then main factors are also, of course, to have a good information about text, images, everything like this, in order for us to help you with the search engine optimization and also the paid marketing to get good conversions. But this is what we do best. So if you provide us with the best possible data, then we can ensure you to push the right traffic and to get the sales. This is a little bit about the different categories and how much they sell. So we can see that electronics is the biggest category we have. Then it's home and garden and kids and beauty. We do sell in the other categories as well, and this can sometimes change based on season, of course, but this is a general overview over the different categories that we do sell most of. So it could be good for you to see, depending on your assortment, if it's a good fit or not. A little bit about terms of service. So we do basically require EU VAT registration number. I don't think this is a problem for you working in from Poland mainly. All prices need to be in local currencies with VAT included. We do also work with a very simple setup on shipping. So there's no separate shipping rather than being in the price. So the price of the product needs to include VAT in the local country as well as the shipping cost in the price. So basically what the customers see, that's what they get. We have an integration with BaseLinker, which makes it very easy for you to integrate to us. So this is really good, and it's been working very good with the merchants we've been working with so far. The shipping time you set yourselves, depending on your logistics partners, and I guess this is something that also Jakob from PostNord will be able to help you with to make sure that the shipping is as fast as possible. On the payment terms, it's either monthly in bulk payments or rolling daily on a 30-day basis, and it's settled in the local currency that you're selling in. The basic setup of the selling fee and service fees is also very simple, actually, I would say, in comparison with a lot of other marketplaces. So it's a flat rate, regardless of the categories. It could be good or bad, but we believe it's very simple to work with, and it's easy to calculate. So it's a 12.5% on the sales price excluding VAT. There is also a fixed product fee of approximately €1. This is also based on the local currency. So for Swedish crowns, it's 10 crowns, for example. And there is a monthly fee to use the platform for €29 a month. We do have a special offer for you participating in this webinar, and it could also be valid for a short time afterwards. Given that you do want to register with us, we offer you a special offer right now, which means that you will get the first 3 months monthly fees there are waves, so we will remove it. So basically, you don't pay any monthly fee the first 3 months. And we will also have a special offer, which we don't usually do, and we're reducing the commission to half the first 3 months as well, to ensure that you can put as low prices as possible in order to test the platform and make it a good and flying start, basically. We can also offer you tailored and targeted campaigns during this time period to really make sure that we have done everything from our end in order for you to succeed and get a good start. So some contact information. We do have a key account manager. Important to know this, of course. So Louise is the key account manager for new partners, which is connected to BaseLinker, and her name is Louise. So her information is here, and you can contact her if there's any questions about anything. Of course, we can also have some Q&A after this, and of course, I can also assist if there would be anything that you want to get help with. If it's anything connected to VAT or entering different markets. For example, Norway is a little bit special. So this is something we know and we can help you with afterwards as well. So thank you very much for listening. And then I will hand over to the BaseLinker, and they can provide you a little bit more information about how you can register with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ted, for the presentation. Really packed with information about the market itself, also about how to start with Fyndiq. Thank you for the special offer you're extending to our attendees here. So for 3 months, you receive a discount on the fees. So there is a 50% discount on the commissions, and the fees are not applicable for the usual subscription fee is not applied for the first 3 months, which gives you a head start, which means you can also test the platform to just make sure that you can actually have sales on the market, and then later on continue on the marketplace. The next step would be actually for you, if you're interested, to register on Fyndiq. That can be done for, of course, there's a link. Let me share with you a link, direct link. Here you should see above the presentation. So that is a link to the form that will allow you to apply for this discount. At the same time, the link is available for the next 3 minutes. You can, of course, also use the QR code. Any company within Poland that has registered for EU VAT number can sell on Fyndiq Marketplace. Of course, there is a KYC process that you need to go through. You will have to provide some company data. Of course, there are for companies registered as spółka, there is a KRS a form that needs to be downloaded and provided for Fyndiq. If it's a sole proprietorship, so it's a jednoosobowa działalność gospodarcza, then you need your CEIDG form that needs to be shared with them. But it is a pretty straightforward process. And of course, Ted's team will help you getting on the platform itself. Now, I see lots of clicks actually on the link to the form, so that's very promising. Hopefully, you will proceed with the registration on the marketplace. But that means also that once you start selling on the marketplace, you will also have to deliver those products, and that can be done through our partnership with PostNord. So Jakub, please, if you could tell us more about the PostNord offer for our customers here, for our attendees. I'll let you take. Oh, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Here is Jacob from PostNord, PostNord Poland. So we help the companies to deliver hassle-free from Poland to the Scandinavia countries. So now we know how to create sales and how to do the sales. So the next step is to deliver. So let me quickly go through the presentation I prepared for you today. So first of all, a little bit of visibility on the landscape of Scandinavia. So that was already sharing a bit of it. However, a few things that I would like to add. So Scandinavia is being half in terms of the population, a bit more than half in terms of the population versus Poland. So Poland is 40 million, 40 million. Scandinavia is around 20 million people. However, when you consider the e-commerce market value, Scandinavia is over 30% bigger than Poland. So as you can see, there is a huge difference in terms of the market, e-commerce market potential and e-commerce market growth. And I believe that part of this can be done by the Polish sellers and by the Polish merchants that are one of the biggest group on the European map of e-commerce. A few more facts about the Scandinavia. More than 95% of people having the access to the internet. So this is also a big thing when it comes to the to shopping online. In all of the countries, over 80% of the population, they are shopping online at least monthly, and the average for the whole Nordics is 83%. And going to the PostNord. So here is a PostNord in brief. So PostNord is the biggest courier company in the Nordics. We are having over 24,000 people working for us in all 4 countries. So we are covering all of the countries: Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. As Ted mentioned before, we are also doing the custom clearance. So if you are thinking about opening, especially in Norway, that's also something that we can cover. PostNord was based as a post company, as the Danish Post and the Swedish Post. So we are still the post company. So every single year we are sending the letters, and last year we sent almost 1 billion letters across the whole world. So not only the parcels to the Nordics that we sent over 240 million, but also almost 1 billion letters that were delivered last year across the world. Yeah, and here is the information about our network, because PostNord is being the company that's having the locker DNA. So our main service is the locker service, and we are having the biggest and the most extensive out-of-home network in the Nordics. So as you can see, the biggest network obviously is in Sweden, as Sweden is the biggest in terms of the population. But also we are having the lockers and PUDOs in Norway, Denmark, and Finland. Altogether, we covered the whole Scandinavia with over 12,000 lockers across the whole region, which is the biggest network. And thanks to that, we are making sure that we can deliver easily to all of the regions, and we can cover every part of the country. Yes, and going to the PostNord International Poland, that is located in Poznań. So how we are present domestically in Poland and how we can support you to deliver the parcels to the Nordics. So PostNord International Poland was established in 2016 as a direct link. So maybe some of you may know the company. But last year we rebranded and we changed the name for the PostNord International. So we're always part of PostNord. However, since last year we are even having the same name. So right now it's very clear that we are having the access to the biggest network in the Scandinavia. So our main specialty are the Nordics. So every single day we are sending the trucks and the parcels to the Nordics for all of the 4 countries. So we are having the truck to Malmo, to Sweden, to Koge in Denmark, to Oslo in Norway, and also to Helsinki in Finland. And we are making sure that the parcels are being delivered as fast as possible. We are giving a comprehensive service offering. So we can give you everything, starting with the letters worldwide, but also to the Nordics, we deliver the parcels to the lockers, to the PUDO points. We are having the courier service. Also, we provide the B2B service. So if you are thinking about sending some bigger stuff, PostNord can help you also to deliver it to the Nordics. On top of that, In Poznań, we have a 6,000 meter square fulfillment center. So I'm going to have an information about that on the next slide. However, that's also something that we can do. And PostNord, as the name says, is international. So we have the facilities not only in Poland, but also we are present in the UK, in the Germany, USA, in the APAC area. So we are covering most of the regions from the parcels are going to the Scandinavia. Yeah, and about the fulfillment and the warehousing. So we have a 6,000 meter square in Żerniki, close to Poznań. So if you are interested in not only selling to the Nordics, but maybe outsourcing part of your operations, and if you are looking for a reliable partner that can help you deliver worldwide, but also fulfill the orders, we are a good address. So we are proved in the industries like fashion, supplements, beauty, electronics. So all of this, we can support you to deliver those parcels not only to the Scandinavia, but to all of the countries around the world. So that's what we are doing on a daily basis. Yes, and thank you for the short time. I hope you are going to have a lot of questions, so I will be more than happy to answer all of them. And if you'd like to book a free consultation, you can scan the link. So our team will be open to schedule a 15 minutes with you to see if you are in the right moment and in the right place to support you with the Scandinavia. Also, I will post on the chat the link to Calendly that you can always click and schedule a short meeting with us. So thank you very much, and yeah, hope to see all of you as our partners soon.
Okay, thank you, Jakub, for this presentation. Of course. So now, since we've heard about the Fyndiq marketplace and in general the Nordic market, we've heard about the offer on the logistics, how to deliver your products. But now the first step would be actually getting those products onto the marketplace, and that can be done through our integration with Base. Actually, it is one of the requirements. So BaseLinker needs to be your interface in publishing your offers on Fyndiq, and we can help you in many aspects. So of course, most of you attendees have already been using BaseLinker. For those who haven't, then we invite you to join and for a free trial of 14 days, so you can see how the system works for you. You can import all of your products from an external source and then connect your Fyndiq account and start listing. Now, what is available as an option within BaseLinker for you in your integration with Fyndiq? Then, of course, we currently allow you to handle all of your orders. So whenever an order has been placed on the marketplace, we will fetch that order into our system so you can further process it within your workflows. So if you have already some workflows that are pre-established, you can use those for handling your Fyndiq orders. Of course, once you generate your tracking links, the tracking numbers, those will be uploaded to Fyndiq, so the platform knows that the product are in transit, and at the same time the end customer will get notified about that too. Of course, this system allows you to use a multitude of automatic actions that take away the manual labor of your everyday from your everyday tasks, and those apply also for the Fyndiq integration. We can generate labels directly with the selected couriers through Base and Linker, and you can list thousands of products in en masse. So basically, you would be selecting 100 of products, 200 products, and as long as you have prepared the mapping, the correct mapping for the parameters, then we will be able to list those in one click on the marketplace. All orders that are placed on the marketplace and then imported into BaseLinker can be also forwarded externally to your ERPs or to your CMSs. So if you need those to appear within your current CMS, we can take care of forwarding the order from BaseLinker to your CMS, as of course using BaseLinker allows you to cut down the errors in the order handling. We can of course also generate invoices, so you can issue an invoice in BaseLinker directly from within the order or through automatic actions. So those can be sent straight away to your customers. You have all kinds of templates that can be applied. The correct VAT rates will be applied depending on your settings in the system. There's an additional service which is called BaseLinker Caller. That's an app for the Android phones. So whenever a customer would be calling you directly, you would see on your smartphone that it is related to a specific order if it's the same phone number that was used for the order. And of course, one of the most important aspects of any integration would be synchronizing stocks, which is quantities and prices. So if any changes in your quantities are detected in BaseLinker, those will be shared to Fyndiq. At the same time, you can manage your prices for your product to stay competitive. You can manage them through BaseLinker. Now, how to connect Fyndiq into BaseLinker? Then, of course, you need to go first through the registration process with TED's teams. You would also go through the KYC process. Once that is done, you will get back the merchant ID and API token that need to be added in BaseLinker. It is a very simple process. You simply go onto your panel. On the left-hand side, you have integrations. There's a big green button that says Add Integration. You will find Fyndiq on the list. And you will just have to type in an account name, which is whatever you want it to be displayed, and then your merchant and ID and API token. Of course, when we are talking about Fyndiq, there's multiple countries. So it's Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway, and all of those markets are accessible through BaseLinker. So you don't have to actually have separate integrations or can access only part of the market. You get access to all of the Fyndiq market through BaseLinker. How will BaseLinker actually make your life easier to be in layman terms with Fyndiq? Then of course we will take care of bringing your inventory onto Fyndiq and synchronize all of the stock levels, all of the prices. So it's a bi-directional data exchange between Fyndiq and BaseLinker. So we receive back the orders, we can remanage again your inventory, stock levels, and prices based on your current sales on the marketplace. The synchronization is of course automatic. We can handle closing the listings whenever you run out of stock for a certain product, and reactivate those listings, those offers on the marketplace as soon as you restock on them, so your stock level goes back onto the positive. You have also the ability to manage your thresholds, which is a limit at which your listing will be closed. So, for example, you can set that if you have less than 5 units of a certain product, then close the listing on Fyndiq. That is also an option if you want to make sure you don't oversell on the marketplace. We have some rules that allow you to round the prices for Fyndiq. As you know, the prices needs to be shared in the local currency for each market of Fyndiq, and that can be managed through BaseLinker because you can create what we call price groups. By creating a new price group, you can apply your currency exchange rates, and you would see those prices specific to the marketplace, and they will be shared with the specific site of Fyndiq. There's a lot of things that need to happen on certain listings. So sometimes you need to update your offers. So in order to do so, you can of course go through a certain manual process, but it doesn't make much sense if you can automate it and perform actions in bulk. So doing them en masse means that you can select 100 listings again, so 100 of your offers, and change the product quantity, the listing price, the titles, the VAT rates, your barcodes, the shipping time, which is a very important part of course of Fyndiq, your descriptions, you can update them, and your SKUs, and of course update maybe better quality images, because it is all about maintaining a high quality listing on the platform, so it is more attractive to your end customer. Well, we can certainly, as BaseLinker, help you in listing those products by using some AI tools we already have developed. Those would be actually tools that allow you to generate product names and descriptions through AI, because we have some, if you need to translate the products, then we can use translation services just as DeepL, for example. So you see an integration available within BaseLinker, but we can also use AI, for example, to generate those names and those descriptions. So basically taking your description in Polish or English and generating a description in Swedish, for example, which is a nice feature, because sometimes you don't want to translate words one-to-one. You want to actually have an AI that rethinks the description, so the certain terms don't get translated one-to-one, to avoid any errors in that aspect. Of course, with BaseLinker, you have the help section that will allow you to review. I believe we have a specific post or blog post about the Fyndiq integration, so you'd find that on our help section and blog post. Our support teams are available 24/7. This means that at any time you are working on your BaseLinker Fyndiq listings through BaseLinker, you can request some help from our teams through the ticketing system that is easily available by going onto the left-hand side of the panel, which is help and contact. You then have a button that says send a message. Just pick a topic of your message, and you can share with us any concerns you have, any difficulties you are encountering, and we will help you in solving those, so you can list your products onto Fyndiq. You can, of course, also go through the BaseLinker Academy, which is a set of videos. Those are shared as a package for the BaseLinker Academy, so you can get certified as a BaseLinker user, but you can also access them through the YouTube channel of BaseLinker. Those videos are very relevant to the listing process, to managing your products, to managing your prices for different market sites. There's a BaseLinker Beginner Academy, which displays some certain functionalities, but then there's also an Advanced Academy, which goes in depth into all of those functionalities. Of course, at any time, you can also access our Facebook page, our YouTube page, or LinkedIn on about BaseLinker Poland to find some help in these matters. Of course, if you need help in using BaseLinker to access that new markets, those new markets, Scandinavians, you can request help, and from our implementation teams, you can see on screen now the QR code, but also you can simply go into our web page, and you will find a section that tells you about the implementation services we provide, so we can assist you in listing those products on the marketplace if you need any assistance in that part. Also, very important, we are preparing the BaseLinker Expo event. It is a huge event that will happen in Kraków, so in the ICE Expo localization. It's one of the biggest e-commerce events in Central and Eastern Europe. That will happen on the 13th of May, 2025. You can go onto expo.baselinker.com to find more details about that one. So please take some time to review the previous editions of the Expo. Were a huge success. Just so you know, the tickets are limited because it's a ticketed event. So if you want to join us and attend, go onto export.baselinker.com and check what we have in the program for you. Now, I have seen lots of questions on the moderated chat that we would like to address. Most of them are actually for Ted, so I hope, Ted, you're prepared for those. We'll try to go through them one by one, but also some questions are for Jakub. So let's maybe start the Q&A session. Just give me a quick second here. Let's go into the questions section and start with the first one, which is very promising because, Ted, people are asking, how can they get in touch with you after the event?
Yes, I mean, if you want to contact me directly, that's totally fine. However, I would say basically it's my first and last name. At CDON. So I mean, that's totally okay. However, I would recommend you to contact Louise, which is our main partner contact for new merchants. So this is the present in the presentation. The contact information is there. So please use that to start with, or go through any BaseLinker representative as well, since we're working very closely. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Mm-hmm. Another question here is about the group, actually, between as CDON and Fyndiq are kind of in the same group. So we have a very specific question. Maybe you'll be able to answer this one.
Yes, absolutely. So good question, and valid, of course. So even though it's in the same group, it is different platforms completely. So they're totally separated, like two different platforms with different, target groups as well. So, and different integrations. So you need to apply for an account for each marketplace if you want to sell, but you're welcome to apply for both, of course. If you're already selling at CDON, I mean, then that's the case. So no, we cannot transfer your account if that's the question. So you need to register for a new account. Yes.
But basically, that means also that any seller that wants to go on Fyndiq can simply apply through the form that we shared, and also they will be eligible for the offer for the next 3 months of reduced commissions on the sales. Okay, question about the products that can be sold on Fyndiq.
Right. We at the moment right now we do not have the possibility on Fyndiq to sell digital products. So this could be something further on, but not today.
Mm-hmm. We have a question in Polish, actually. Will the webinar be translated to Polish? Actually, we do not plan on doing so. Unfortunately, this would be a whole 1 hour discussion about the market that would have to be translated. We do not plan to do so, so I'm sorry about this, but we will be sharing of course, the recording of the session, but we do not plan on translating it. We have a tricky question here about the market. I believe it will be a bit difficult to answer this one. Ted, do you want to address it now, or is it rather a bit later? What do you know about the
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's of course a quite tricky question, given that all of this data is not really publicly listed for different reasons. I mean, Amazon don't really share all the numbers in terms of market share, and also given that Fyndiq is also part of the CDON group that also listed on the stock exchange. So yeah, let's see what numbers we can share about this. If there's anything specific in regards to this, we might be able to have some data on it, but it's nothing that I can share at the moment.
Of course, I understand that. Going back to the products, actually, and are there any product categories that are excluded on Fyndiq?
Yes, to a certain degree it is, but without going into details on it here, there might be some, that I miss some of them. We have a specific link on our help center that lists the prohibited products or categories that we do not sell. So I would we can post a link to that page so you can go through it in later.
Great. A question about the Fyndiq website, actually. Can the language be changed on the Fyndiq website?
Right. Okay, I understand the question. So there's no translation button implemented on the site. So I would say the best would be to use Google or similar translation services to translate the website.
Okay. Then a question about the products actually. Are they translated from Polish or English as an intermediary language when being listed on the markets? Because Ted, the products when they are being listed on the market side, I believe you require the descriptions to be in the target language already, right? When we are sharing them from BaseLinker. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So I would recommend to use the service that you presented from BaseLinker. That's a perfect tool to use.
Exactly. So with BaseLinker, you'll be able to translate those using the AI tools or maybe some integration with a translation service. We have those in place. A quick question. Yeah.
I can just answer the question to some degree at least. If you would list them in English, this is, I mean, it's not that we don't allow it, but it's nothing that we recommend because it will affect the SEO if it's not in the local language.
Yes, of course, that's understandable. Ted, this question was asked just after your presentation, so I believe it refers to yours, but maybe Jakob would be able also to tell us more. Will your presentation be available in the mailing?
So yeah, I'm not sure like how. I guess this presentation will be sent like a video format. So I guess they want you want the slides. I guess that's the question. But yeah, we can provide this if it's of interest. So please reach out to us if you would like to have the slides. We can of course share this. Yes.
Okay, so a question about delivery times, and this says that what are the required delivery times and what are the return conditions on Fyndiq?
Right, so we have a maximum delivery time of 21 working days, which should hopefully be enough for anyone. This is mainly because we work with international sellers from all over the world, actually. That are shipping products from anywhere in the world into Europe and then into the Nordics, because they need to be VAT and customs declared before they go into the Nordics. So that's why we have that amount of delivery time. So basically, there's no other set requirements on the delivery time. On the return conditions, what we do require is that basically you have two options. You can have a local return warehouse, and then the returns will be, I mean, basically, if the customer regrets a purchase, then the customer pays the return within the local country. So let's say if you're selling the products in Sweden and you have a local warehouse in Sweden, then the customer would pay the return if it's a regret. For complaints, the cost is always on the merchant side. If the warehouse is outside of the local country where you're selling, the seller needs to pay for the return as well. Or if you want to, you can refund the customer in total as well, depending, of course, on the price of the product, whichever is cheapest for you.
Okay. Then another question is about creating store regulations. So for the legal aspects for a given market.
We can, of course, help you with this to a certain degree. I would say it kind of depends on what kind of assistance is needed. We do have a legal department within the company. So, I mean, we will, of course, look into each specific topic. But I can't promise you that we will help you or be able to help you with anything. But, of course, if there is a question, we will, of course, do everything we can in order to either we can answer you or help you with it, or we can direct you to the specific location where you could get the help. So yeah.
A question again to Fyndiq, which is, can you register your own brands on Fyndiq?
Yes, I think I understand the question. So yeah, we can add brands on the site. However, it's a little bit different than Amazon. So I think it kind of depends on what the question refers to. Maybe we need to dig a little bit deeper on what this means. But yes, we can register brands, so you can like click on a brand and see all the products from that brand. This kind of options we do have availability to do. Yes.
Okay. Another question is about banking, and in this case, do you require a local bank, or is it just fine if we provide an account information like the SWIFT codes for a Polish bank account or maybe external one?
Yeah, so basically we don't require this. The only thing we require is that you can accept payments in the local currency. So if your bank can accept, for example, Swedish crowns, then you don't have to do anything. It depends on if you want to have a currency account for each currency. Maybe you have to check this with your bank or use other services. We do have a few other services as well to get paid. And I think I saw in the chat before that you also recommended a few Polish solutions as well for this.
Okay. Another question about Fyndiq. What is the fixed fee?
So I guess this refers to the selling fee and the fixed fee per sold product or order. So there is a fixed fee of approximately €1 per sold article. So I guess that's what refers to the fixed fee.
Okay. Now we have some questions for Jakub, actually. Could you please tell us more about the shipments, actually? So are the parcels insured?
Yeah, all the parcels are insured, and due to the fact that we are the owner of the whole process from the moment we are taking the parcel from the customer until the moment we deliver, we have the whole control on the process, on the quality. So a little percentage of the parcels we are having some issues. However, yes, we are insuring the parcels.
Okay. Another one, I'm not sure to understand it, maybe it is specific.
Yes, I do understand. So yes, it's possible. As we are the fulfillment center, we have the warehousing, so we are having that kind of service that we can do for the customer. Yes.
Okay. Another one is actually pricing for your shipments.
So regarding the pricing, it's very hard to say because everything depends on the size of the shipments and the volume. Because as you may consider, that's not only the last mile; it's also the middle mile. So shipping from Poznań through the sea to the region to Scandinavia. So I would say that the best is to schedule a meeting with us, and then after collecting some information about the shipping profile, we'll be able to give you the pricing.
Okay. Another question for PostNord now, actually. Just as a courtesy, I will translate it. Are the parcels from Poland sent to PostNord's warehouses, or are they being picked up by the couriers?
Okay, so regarding the first question, it depends. So it depends on the volume and the location of the customer. So if you are around, we can pick it up. Or if the volume is relevant, we can pick it up. But also we can accept the bulky shipments, because I saw that was the question on the chat. What's the typical delivery time to Sweden, Norway, Finland? So different. So to Sweden, if you inject the parcel, so you take the parcel Monday. For Sweden, the delivery happens mostly Wednesday, Thursday. For Norway, Finland, plus 1 day. So I would say if you inject Monday to all of the countries, it should be delivered the same week. What's the cost of the delivery up to 3 kilograms? A few euros, but it's very hard to say because like Sweden, Finland, there's no customs. Norway, there's customs. Completely different rates. So I would strongly recommend to get in touch with us.
Okay, and another question about this: are 40 to 50 grams weight parcels acceptable?
Yes, of course, that's not a problem for us. As we are a postal operator, we can do the postal service. And what's quite important, we can do the postal service not only to the Scandinavia, we can do the postal service worldwide. So we can, the same way as we are shipping to Sweden, the parcels up to 2 kilograms, we can send everywhere in the world.
Okay. So we have 1 minute left, but we have over 30 questions on the chat yet. So as I said, just so you know, we will answer all of those after the webinar. We'll send you back the information through the emailing. A couple of last questions for Fyndiq, maybe. Is the EN code mandatory?
No.
Okay. Maybe a very specific one here. Is there an expected volume?
Yeah, this is a very hard question to answer. I mean, it depends on so many factors, I would say. I mean, we have sellers that have like 10 orders per day, and we have those who have like more than 1,000 a day. So it's like very different on what you're selling, of course, and like the assortment itself, as well as the pricing. So it's very hard because it's like case by case, I would say. And but I would say like yes to the question. I think there is space, definitely.
Okay, and the very last question here. When it comes to returns on Fyndiq, is there a mandatory time for the returns, or is it like more about a customary practice here that says 14, 30, 45 days?
Yeah, so we have a 30 days right to regret the product, for example. That doesn't mean that they will regret it or ship it back, but that's like the policy that the customer has 1 month basically to regret the purchase, given that they fulfill the requirements to actually to send it back, that it needs to be in the good shape and not opened or broken or whatever. So I'm not sure if that's the question here, but
To me, it sounds like it was the correct actually understanding of the question. Well, thank you again so much for joining us for this webinar. Again, I'm so sorry you couldn't make it to answer all of your questions. We will be answering them after the webinar and sending that along the recording of the webinar through our emailing. Thank you so much again, Jakub. Thank you so much, Ted, for joining this session and sharing the information about your services. I've seen a huge response in the clicks to the registration forms, and I hope your calendars get filled with those meetings after the event. Thank you to all of our attendees to coming to this event. We'll be certainly hosting more of those in the future. Just a quick reminder, BaseLinker Expo. Go onto expo.baselinker.com to check all the information about that event that's to come. Thank you so much again, and have a good day.
thank you very much.
Thank you.